Mid-Autumn Festival. Dragon Dance. Lion Dance. The Moon Lady. Mask. Jade Rabbit. Lantern. Star-shaped lantern. Lantern Parade. Mooncake. Dragon Dance. Family Reunion. Banyan Tree. Moon Palace. The Moon Lady. Change. Mid-Autumn Festival. Mooncake. Lion Dance. Lantern. Toy Figurine. Mask.
Moon Banyan Lantern Parade Bamboo Moon Goddess, Fairy, Star-shaped lantern.
Mid-Autumn Festival, Full Moon Festival, Lantern Festival, Mooncake Festival. Dragon Dance. The Moon Lady. Star Lantern. Jade Rabbit. The Man in the Moon / the Moon Man. Mooncake. To wear funny / clown masks. To perform / parade lion dance around / all over streets. To celebrate the Mid-Autumn Festival with traditional 5-pointed star-shaped lantern. To celebrate the moon by eating traditional Mid-Autumn specialties. To watch and admire the moon. Why did the Chinese Mid-Autumn Festival originate? Whether it's to honor the gods or celebrate long-held traditions, every part of the world has its share of great festival celebrations. China's festivals mainly fall into 3 categories: agricultural, religious and social festivals. Through celebrations, modern Chinese societies continued to retain their links with China and its values, emphasizing the important place that tradition and longing for times past occupy in people's lives. Besides the ethnic, geographic, historic, and linguistic ties that unite Chinese people, traditional festivals are one of the strongest bonds reinforcing the cultural identity of the Chinese nation. The moon has long held a special significance within many Asian cultures. It is a symbol of life or death, and as it determines the calendar, it also determines when the rains will fall and has always been believed to influence the growth of vegetation. For thousands of years it was a rural rule that farmers should always plant during the new moon when the moon is at its fullest and brightest. It marks an ideal time to celebrate the abundance of the summer's harvest.
Today it's not just the magnificent temples, palaces and terracotta armies of China's past that remain, but its wonderful tradition of celebrations, and its longest and most significant is the celebration of the Mid-Autumn Festival, also come to be known as the Moon Lantern Festival. It falls on the 15th day of the 8th lunar month of the Chinese lunisolar calendar. It's a legal holiday in many Asian countries, the other being the Chinese Lunar New Year. During these ancient times, the Chinese emperors practiced the tradition of worshipping the sun in spring, and the moon in autumn. Rulers came and went, empires collapsed and were rebuilt, the so-called conquering barbarians would invade and take over civilized communities, but the celebration of the Mid-Autumn or the Moon Lantern Festival has survived over 3,000 years.
The first custom concerned that during the autumn of the 15th day of the 8th month of the Chinese calendar is the time when rice paddies are harvested. Some people believe that the Mid-Autumn Festival came from the autumn reward ritual. The second custom concerns worship of the moon. According to astronomy, the Mid-Autumn Festival occurs at the autumn equinox. At this time, the sunlight shines vertically on the equator, equally dividing the day and night in both the southern and northern hemispheres. The moon appears in the evening with gentle winds and light clouds. This is the best time to watch the moon. People later made this day the day to worship the moon. The Mid-Autumn Festival. Vietnam is a country with 1,000 years of history, so it has many traditional festivals. One of them is the Mid-Autumn Festival, or Trung Thu. This festival is held on the 15th day of the 8th month in the Chinese calendar. It is one of the most popular festivals in Vietnam and is important to Vietnamese families. Right from the beginning of the month, preparation begins with a bustling atmosphere.
Legends and stories associated with the Moon Lantern Festival. As with all traditional festivals, the Mid-Autumn or Moon Lantern Festival has its connection with legends and stories that represent its origins. Here are some legendary stories that have been passed down through the ages and through oral history. There are many versions of these stories.
According to the History of Asia, one of the most well-known Vietnamese legends related to the Moon Festival is the legend of Chu Koi. Koi had a sacred banyan tree that could restore life. He always reminded his wife to water it with clean water, so it did not get exposed to contamination. However, one day the wife forgot to water the tree when Koi was away, and so she urinated on it. The tree began to grow incessantly, and when Koi tried to chop it down with an axe, he got stuck on the tree and floated upwards with it. Eventually, Koi was stranded on the moon. Therefore, each year the children light colorful lanterns to lead Koi's way back to Earth.
There's also a story about how the Moon Lady ascended to the moon. A man named Chu Koi found a lucky tree that had special healing powers. Because this tree was sacred, people were forbidden to urinate at the foot of this tree. Unfortunately, Chu Koi's wife, Chi Hang, forgot the rule and urinated on the tree. One day, while she was sitting on the tree's branch, the tree started to grow and grow. Eventually, it reached the moon. Since then, Chi Hang lived on the moon for the rest of her life as a punishment for desecrating the sacred tree.
In Chinese culture, the moon is much more than just a piece of rock orbiting the Earth reflecting the sun's light. The time of this story is around 2170 BC.
Long, long ago, there were 10 suns in the sky. They took turns coming out bringing sunshine one by one. But, one day all 10 of them came out together. A man called Ho Yi shot down 9 suns and left only one sun to keep bringing sunshine every day. He became a hero and almost everyone was grateful to him, except a man called Peng Meng. Peng Meng knew that he had a very precious pill that could keep people living all the time. One day when Ho Yi was out of town, Peng Meng broke into his house and asked his wife, Changer, to give him that pill. Changer didn't want a bad man to take that pill, so she had to eat the pill. As soon as she took it, she floated up and couldn't stay on the earth at all. She went to the nearest place, the moon, because she loved her husband so much and did not want to be too far from him. After Ho Yi came back, he understood what had happened to his wife. He set the table under the moon and put the round cake and grapes, which his wife liked best, on the table. That day is the 15th day of Chinese lunar calendar, so that people called it Mid-Autumn Day.
Ho Yi shot 9 suns. Change met Ho Yi and they got married. Ho Yi went to the Kunlun Mountains to look for an elixir of life. How Yi gave the elixir to Change. Change drank the elixir and flew to the moon. Ho Yi sacrificed the moon.
This festival originated in a fairy tale. A hero named Hu Yi saved his people by shooting down the other 9 suns that burned his people to death. He was then bestowed with the elixir of immortality by the Queen Mother of the West. He did not want to consume the elixir and leave his beautiful but very mortal wife, Chang-er, so he gave the elixir to his wife for safekeeping. Unfortunately, Hu Yi's disloyal apprentice forced Chang-er to swallow the elixir. She then became a supernatural being. She flew to the moon, and from there watched her husband. Knowing that his wife had now been separated from him, Hu Yi was crazed with grief. Looking up at the moon one night, he saw a figure like his wife. He hurriedly took cakes and succade, preserves and sugar, whether fruits, vegetables, or confections, as offerings to his wife. Upon hearing this, people developed the custom of watching the moon and eating mooncakes annually on this day. you.